One of the most common questions for digital advertisers is, why do my Facebook numbers and Google Analytics numbers not match up? This is something that we struggle with all the time, and I hope to provide a little bit of clarity behind this in this video and why it's so difficult to track a one-to-one track of sales and ads. So first off, let's talk Facebook attribution and how Facebook measures attribution itself. So if a user clicks a Facebook ad and buys from your website within a 28-day period, Facebook will take 100% credit for that sale. This is called a 28-day click attribution. So if a user sees your ad but doesn't click and buys within a 24-hour period, Facebook will take 100% credit for that sale. This is called one-day impression attribution. This is a little bit tricky because Google is very specific with how they track attribution. In fact, they want to say the last touch is the one that contributed to the sale. So, I think if you're really trying to break down how a sale came into your business, if you're looking at Google Analytics, there are a variety of different ways that your user could have come into your website, especially if you're running multiple advertising campaigns. So, for instance, if we take and we advertise to somebody on Facebook and they click it and then they head to your website and they decide not to buy. And then let's say, a week later, especially on higher ticket items, they decide to pull open their computer and type in your website, and then they go to your product page and they click buy. Google is going to take the credit for that, because they're saying this person, maybe Google searched, or it was a direct traffic source because it came directly in because maybe they typed in your website URL at that point. That is considered a direct traffic, and Google Analytics is going to say that was a direct referral, and that's how they're going to attribute the sale. But if it happened within a 28-day window, Facebook is also going to take credit for that sale because they said, hey, without us showing that Facebook ad, they may have never seen that before. And so I want you to kind of keep that in mind when you're trying to track your sales and you're trying to look in Google Analytics for it. So this brings me to Google Analytics and 3 reasons why Google Analytics will show much lower conversions than Facebook. Again, they give full credit to that last paid click. So if something like this happens, you're going to be looking at, Google's going to say, hey, that was a direct, or let's say it is a really high ticket item. Like let's say it's wheels and tires for a car, right? And so if you serve up a Facebook ad for wheels and tires, I don't know how many people are going to, maybe make a $1,500 to $2,000 purchase just from seeing a Facebook ad one time, especially if they've never seen your business before. So they might Google search around, make sure that you guys are legitimate. They might make sure that this type of wheel will fit my car before they do that. And so they could go multiple different ways before they actually decide to check out on your business. If they go through that entire journey in a 28-day period, Facebook is going to take the credit for it because that's how their attribution model is set up. And another point number 2, is that Google is not able to track impression conversions from Facebook. So that other attribution model is if you serve up an ad on Facebook and the user doesn't click, but they saw it, it's called an impression. They saw it, and then they decide later on that they're going to go ahead and maybe they'll type in your website yourself or their self. They're going to go ahead and Facebook's going to say, hey, that was our sale. Meanwhile, Google's going to say, no, there's no way that we can track that as your sale. That's because the ad was served up without a physical click on it. The third point is that Google is not able to track cross-device conversions, and I feel like this is a big point that a lot of people get stuck on. So say you're on your mobile phone and you get served up an ad, and that ad resonates well with you. You look it over or whatever. You decide, right now I'm not going to purchase. Later in the night, you come home, you pull up your laptop, and you decide, you know what, that has been stuck in my head all day long, so maybe I will go check it out again, and ultimately you decide to purchase. But because you typed in that website directly into your computer, again, Google's going to track that as a direct purchase or a direct attribution. They're not going to give any credit to Facebook for that because they track the last click, and the last click was direct in that case. Meanwhile, Facebook's going to want credit for that very sale because of the fact that they showed that ad on their logged in mobile device. Here's the kicker. When you have a logged in environment like Facebook where you're logged in on mobile and then you have to sign in on your computer, they can kind of track that cross-device conversion there. So trying to line up exactly which sale came from which source is going to be very difficult, especially with the way Facebook sets up their attribution model in a 28-day window, a 28-day click window. So when you're looking at Google Analytics and you're looking at the Facebook Ads Manager and the numbers that they're pumping out, oftentimes they're not going to be the same, especially if you're doing a lot of SEO work, if you're doing a lot of Google AdWords work. So we just encourage you to kind of keep track of these things and watch them yourself and watch for your revenue trends, but don't get so stuck on individual numbers from Facebook and making sure that they line up directly to Google Analytics, because there's a good chance that they're not going to. So I hope this can help bring clarity to attribution, especially when you're running Facebook ads and Google ads. I know it's very confusing. Just think that there are multiple ways that people are getting to your website, and the hope is that your revenue is increasing, and we do hope that this video helps shed some light on these attribution models. So thank you for watching.